What's up, everyone? This is your host, Ghost, coming to you live with another wonderful video. How is everyone doing today? Doing well myself. Oh, man. I'm tired. I know, I'm always tired, but man, am I fucking tired. Got home at 1-ish and I go to bed till 2, so, or 2:40. Yeah, no, I got home at 2, didn't go to bed till 2:40, so got about 4 hours. So, tired. Anyways, not a big deal. We're going to keep on doing what we're doing. All right, what are we going to talk about? What are we going to talk about today? Well, we're going to talk about more on the shooter. Okay. Sorry. More on the shooter. Okay. We're just going to basically go through what we know so far about the shooter. Okay. And then go through the timeline of the assassination attempt. We had a bunch of things going on here. It's kind of interesting. And we got a different angle of the shooting itself, I believe. We'll get into. Then we're going to go into, more and more Democrats are now turning their backs on Biden. Yeah. So more and more are turning their backs on Biden. We got Democratic leadership, the Senate Majority Leader and the House Minority Leader, telling Biden to step down. And then we got a really good. We got Van Jones here speaking the truth, so we'll check that out too. And then I was going to do this a while ago, but I had to. I think I canceled that show and just never followed up. We got Laura Loomer confronting Elizabeth Warren about Joe Biden, and since we're talking about Joe Biden today, I figured I'd add that in today. And then Biden has gotten COVID, tested positive for COVID. And this has caused him, of course, to shut down or cancel his. It caused him to shut down his rally in Vegas that he was going to be in. So we'll check that out real quick. And I think that's all we got. And then, of course, we're going to go over, some other things that happened during our RNC, mostly revolving around the Secret Service, director of the Secret Service. We'll check out some speeches that were done. And then finally, we'll check out the latest Trump ad. Because why not? So that's the plan for today. Hope you guys are ready for it. So before I get started, make sure to do a little housekeeping. Follow me on X at officialwghost. That's the best way to find out when I go live and what I am up to. You can also watch me live if you choose to do so as well. And then there's Rumble, of course. Rumble is the main place. It's a home of free speech. We'll be, regardless of what we're doing, we'll always be on Rumble. And that link is rumble.com/withghost. YouTube.com/@withghost is going to be YouTube, of course. Twitch.tv/officialwithghost is Twitch. Those are the various channels. And you also have a gaming channel. Have not been able to do much gaming for a while. So that's slowly dying, I'm sure. But for Rumble, it's Gaming with Ghosts, and for YouTube, it's @official Gaming with Ghosts. All right, so let's get into it. We're gonna go a little bit through the timeline of the assassination attempt, and we'll do a little bit of crooks, and yeah. So let's see. All right, so this was breaking. So Thomas Matthews Crook's parents reported him missing to law enforcement hours before he opened fire at the Trump rally. Thomas Matthews Crook's parents are looking for him. Were looking for him. Sorry, on Saturday in the hours leading up to the Trump rally shooting, and eventually called law enforcement to indicate he was missing, and they were worried. It's unclear what his parents told authorities, but the call happened on Saturday before Crooks later opened fire at Trump during the rally and Butler. The parents are cooperating with authorities, and the FBI is still trying to determine a motive for the attack. So, there we are. All right. Crooks was on the Secret Service radar after entering the Butler rally with a rangefinder at 3 p.m. So this guy had a rangefinder. Now, if you don't know what a rangefinder is, it's a device that this basically will tell you how far someone is to your spot. That's all it really does. Just gives you distance. They're X amount of distance away. Actually, I think I have one. Let me see if I have one. Well, I do have one. Let me see if I can find it. All right. Oh, sorry about that. So here's a rangefinder right here. So that's what this looks like. Something of this nature. And like I said, you point it at something in a distance. You click on the button, and it'll tell you how far it is away. There's like 150 yards, something of that nature. So there we are. Let's see. Despite being watched, Crooks retrieved his rifle from his car and was later photographed scouting from a roof. Secret Service lost track of him temporarily before the attempted assassination. So they had someone with a rangefinder. Okay. He apparently, he was being watched, but he still managed to retrieve his rifle and was seen scouting a roof. Does it sound weird to you? All right. Thomas Matthew Crooks, 20, attempted to assassinate Trump in Pennsylvania, but was fatally shot by Secret Service agents. Found within a Home Depot receipt for a ladder, investigators believed Crooks used it to access the building's roof for the attack. Where's the ladder, people? Video shows over a dozen firearms were discovered at his home, and the rifle used may have belonged to his father. Videos show rally attendees alerting law enforcement before the shooting. Crooks, a bully loner, acted alone. In the incident has resulted in the death of a former fire chief and injuries to 2 others. And that's him. That's him in his little graduation outfit. All right, and then just again going through the timeline of all. So this was Corey Comparator. He was the fireman who was killed. This is a guy Destiny is making fun of, and is very upset that this man here would be willing to sacrifice himself for his family, and that's something Destiny does not have in his body. He wouldn't be willing to sacrifice himself for anyone. So that's why he's being so vicious against this guy who was just at a Trump rally and died. This is the guy that Destiny's gleeful about dying. And of course, here's the video of the after getting shot. It's where Trump showed him, showed everyone that he was can't fucking take him out. And so he lifts his fist up and they scream USA. All right. Oh, see, I don't have to. Okay, cool. So I haven't seen this, so I don't know what this said. But let's see. So two police officers phoned into a blank tactical channel to alert that an armed individual was on the roof moments before Trump was shot at the PA rally. However, Secret Service didn't rush to protect Trump at this moment. Butler town manager Thomas Knight says a local officer who interrupted Thomas Crooks was hanging from the roof after being lifted by another officer. Crooks pointed his rifle, forcing the officer to fall. Both officers then radioed in to notify about the armed individual. It's unclear how much time passed between Crooks pointing his rifle and the first shot. So let's listen to. I think this is the town manager, Butler town manager Tom Knight. I think this is who this is.
All law enforcement were notified of a suspicious person somewhere on the grounds. Once the suspicious individual was identified as being in the vicinity of the AGR building, our police, who were primarily assigned to traffic duty and traffic control, did in fact, because of proximity, move towards that building to assist in trying to find and identify, the suspicious person. It's a light manufacturing office building. I'm not aware of a very specific assignment, not being part of the planning meetings, to whether or not anybody was truly assigned, dedicated to not only the building but that immediate grounds. I don't have that answer. One of our police officers, long-term, police officer here with our department. Once that suspicious individual report came out and our police arrived, in the immediate area of the building, they did do a perimeter search. We're unable to see the person on top of the building from their vantage point. So one of our other police officers, two total, literally boosted one of our police officers up high enough in the air to grab hold of the edge of the roof. Approximate height of 12 feet from ground to where he was able to grab a handhold. Officer pulled himself up to where his head was above the roof. Did observe an individual on the roof. Individual was identified as having a weapon and did point that firearm at our officer. That time, our officer took up a defensive position from hanging from a ledge, ducked his head, did in fact lose his grip, fell approximately 8 feet, did sustain an injury to his ankle. While prone on the ground, both the lifting officer and the prone officer both called in, identifying the individual on the roof as being armed. We did not man the actual entrance gates. I've heard the same.
Okay, so we're gonna go back over this, but so officers, hey, they see this person, they call, they get a weapon pointed at them, they call it out, and the Secret Service does nothing at all. They let Trump go on stage, even though they have reports, or stay on stage, but they're having reports apparently that, hey, there's someone on the roof. It's a blanket tactical channel, and I guess it's gonna be, oh well, they didn't hear it. Okay, so the Secret Service didn't have a channel that the cops did, and that doesn't make any sense to me. Sorry, hold on. Like none of that makes any sense to me. It was like I really don't understand it at all. Like why didn't Secret Service have access to a blanket tactical channel? Why did only the police did? Why wouldn't the like I don't I don't quite understand this at all. Ugh, this is bad.
Same story, but I don't have any other information than what's being broadcast right now. I can tell you, if there is none of that spilled over into this building and none of it's been directed, to our officers, there has, to the best of my knowledge, not been any direct communication with members of Secret Service to our officials. There are ongoing interviews with all law enforcement that were at the event, regardless of what their roles were. So we're all just waiting on that information to be all put together into one public report. I think there's some misconception about overall response. I can only speak for our officers transitioning from what was supposed to be a primary traffic control assistance to where it became a person of suspicion, or a suspicious person. I mean, I think our law enforcement did exactly what training taught them to do, and they did their job. How subsequent events played out, that's another thing for what I hope to be a really complete report on the incident to educate everybody. A gap in time with unknowns that leads to all the angry emails and calls that township elected officials, myself, and especially the police are receiving. Um, Again, hopefully the report is as timely as possible and given in a way that the public can clearly follow the timelines and how different components happened, and everybody not just learns from it, but just not living in fear, but just living, get away from it. I think I'd welcome any kind of a review that gets.
All right, this guy's saying a whole bunch of nothing. Really, I've been listening. I've been trying to all right, what is he saying? He said a whole bunch of nothing. So we're gonna move on. So okay, yeah. So this is already known. The shooter used an AR rifle, AR-15. Okay, there it is. Yeah, explosives were found in Thomas's car. So that was interesting. It's kind of weird. Why did he have explosives in his car? And more importantly, why didn't he use it? Like, why didn't he use the explosives? Okay, so he was employed as a dietary aide at Bethel Park Skilled Nurse and Rehabilitation, according to Administrator Marcy Grimm. Employees were shocked to learn of his involvement, as Crooks had performed his job without concern and his background check was clean. Yeah, well, yeah. As far as I know, he's 20 years old. He hasn't committed any crimes till to that day. Okay. Okay. And of course, Trump was shot during the rally. One victim was killed in the shooting. Others were critically injured. And then he apparently went to he went and golfed for a little bit after being shot. Let's see. Oh, now the FBI has finally accessed the phone of Thomas Matthew Crooks. Investigators continue to analyze his electronic devices. Searches of Crook's home and car are complete. The FBI is investigating the incident as an assassination attempt and potentially domestic terrorism. Nearly 100 interviews with law enforcement personnel, event attendees, and witnesses have been conducted, and the investigation is ongoing. So after finally been taking forever, they finally broken into his phone. So that's good at least. So apparently, Home Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas admitted the attempted assassination of Trump on Saturday was a failure of security. Okay, so yeah, of course it was. There's no way it wasn't. Okay. So here's this. The House Oversight Accountability Chairman James Comer subpoenaed U.S. Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle to appear at a hearing. Initially, the Secret Service committed to your attendance. Subsequently, however, DHS officials appear to have intervened, and your attendance is now in question. In addition, since DHS intervention, there has been no meaningful updates or information shared with the committee. The lack of transparency and failure to cooperate with the committee on this pressing matter by both DHS and Secret Service further calls into questions your ability to lead the Secret Service and necessitate the attached subpoena compelling your appearance before the House Oversight Committee. Just curious. I think that's all this is going to say is the basics of it. Let's see. The House Oversight Committee is investigating the July 13, 2024 assassination attempt on former President Trump. The Oversight Committee is subpoenaing you, Director of the United States Secret Service, to appear for public appearing on July 22nd of 24. So we got it'll be Monday. We'll probably watch that. Even though it's going to be incredibly boring. We'll watch it, or at least the highlights. Sorry. Let's see. Titled Oversight of the United States Secret Service and the Attempted Assassination of President Donald J. Trump. The attached subpoena is issued pursuant to Rule. What is it? Whatever. That rule of the Rules of the House of Representatives and Rule 12 of the House Oversight Rules. The protective mission of the Secret Service is to play a critical role in protecting U.S. and visiting world leaders, safeguarding U.S. elections through protection of candidates and nominees, and ensuring the security of key facility and major national level events. The assassination attempt for the former president and current Republican nominee, president, represents a total failure. Oh, excuse me. Of the agency's core mission and demands congressional oversight. Despite allowing you to speak with the media, both the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and Secret Service have failed to provide assurances regarding your appearance at the House Oversight scheduled hearing, thereby necessitating the attached subpoena. On the day of the attack, the committee sent a written request for you to voluntarily attend a public hearing on July 22nd. The committee next wrote to you on July 15th, I think it said, requesting specific information in anticipation of your testimony at the July 22nd public hearing. Initially, the Secret Service committed to your attendance. Subsequently, we already read that. If you have any questions regarding this, okay, so that's who you can go. Okay. No. Okay, I guess that's everything. So there we go. And then one more thing. This just came up. So photos of a cell phone and transmitter found next to Thomas Crook's body. The shooter in the Trump's assassination attempt, Crooks had explosives in the car. Crooks was on the roof for less than 7 minutes before being confronted by police. Law enforcement sources contradict the Secret Service, detailing a lack of local police presence in the building. So they're lying. Secret Service is lying. All right, so this next video is gonna be a separate look at
that there is a
Individual did in fact
just ramble on. So I'm hoping this one will be a little more straightforward and more to the point.
see an individual on the roof with a weapon.
He saw the shooter.
He did.
Your officers are on patrol. They hear that there is a suspicious person on the rooftop. What did your officers do?
So our officers in the area started to converge on the building. My understanding is they did a full perimeter walk of the building, weren't able to see up on the roof. Two of the officers went to what appeared to be the lowest point from ground to roof. One of the officers actually boosted the second officer up high enough for him to grab hold of the roof. When he was able to pull his head up over the roof, he did in fact see an individual on the roof with a weapon.
He saw the shooter.
He did.
And what did the shooter do?
Turned towards him, had the barrel of his weapon pointed at the officer.
At that point, the officer's hanging on to the side of the roof,
Yes.
unable to pull a gun out,
Unable to
defend himself, unable to reach his radio.
any of that. Yeah. Yeah. Strictly defensive movement for him to lower his head, duck, lost his own grip, right? Fell approximately 8 feet to the ground.
That's a steep drop.
It's a good drop. Yes,
Did he get hurt?
he did.
In that moment, did they realize there's a threat right now to the former president?
They did. So both the boosting officer and the officer that fell were both on the radio, indicating that there was an individual on the roof that did in fact have a weapon.
Who did they radio?
So there was a blanket tactical channel being
Everyone
used.
heard it.
Everyone that was on that tactical channel heard it. Yes.
How much time between that radio communication and the gun being fired at the former president?
That I don't have that information.
Okay, that's interesting. So initially, it said when it first reported that a cop saw what happened, the way it was phrased made it sound like he, was climbed up, saw it, and then went right back down and didn't do anything. Now we're hearing he was actually hanging off the building, pulled himself up, saw what happened, and then when he got the gun pointed at him, he let go and fell. And that's what happened. And then they called on a blanket tactical channel. And so everyone should have been Secret Service members on there. There should have been. So what happened? Why wasn't there Secret Service members on there? Why didn't they hear it? Why didn't they do anything if they did hear it? Like, there's so many questions here. This is gonna be like a fucking something that's gonna be going on for a long time. Okay, so let's check this out. This is a video. Secret Service identified shooter an hour before the rally, and when confirmed as a threat minutes before, they still allowed Trump to take the stage. So let's listen in.
The shooter, on what the Secret Service knew about the shooter minutes before Donald Trump took the stage. For more, we want to go to Aisha because there was a briefing today. You got some information about what happened, Aisha?
Dana, good afternoon to you. We just got a big information dump, and some of it is deeply, deeply troubling. So I'm going to hold your hand and walk you through this. Just bear with me here. A lot of notes that I'm going to look at here. Just about a couple minutes ago, these senators came out of this briefing with Secret Service. They've been asking for it for days now. Finally got it with the director and Secret Service staff. And the top headline that has come out of it, according to Senator John Barrasso, just spoke to him as soon as he hung up on this briefing. He said that apparently the Secret Service had identified as a character of suspicion this man, this shooter, because they saw a rangefinder on him as well as a backpack. And this all happened more than an hour before the shooting actually occurred. So they saw the guy and they identified this guy as suspicious. Now, more details coming from a source familiar here who was also in the meeting tells me that about 10 minutes before former President Trump went onto the stage, they had gone from looking at this as suspicious to now looking at him as a threat. That is coming from this briefing that the senators were in. They were told that Secret Service had called it in to a center that this guy they now identified as a threat about 10 minutes before President Trump walked on stage, and they still allowed him to walk onto that stage. I'm told the Secret Service agent in charge there was on the phone with local and state police about the threat while the shooting was taking place. That's huge. And that is raising a lot of concerns and now major calls for the director of the Secret Service to step down immediately.
So, like, this is crazy.
A rangefinder on him as well as a backpack. And this all happened more than an hour before the shooting actually occurred. So they saw the guy.
You know, again, like we read before, you know, he had a rangefinder and all that stuff, you know, prior to him being on stage or prior to like, and then there was this officer who saw it broadcasted on Blink Tackle's channel. They still didn't do fuck all. Like, they didn't do anything. This is ridiculous. It's such a failure by the Secret Service. The fact that the director has not stepped down is just ridiculous at this point. All right. If this was a Democrat and Republicans in office, they'd be like demanding that this person be stepped down, and we'd probably be agreeing with them. Like, yeah, they should. All right. So here's apparently a new video from Saturday at the Trump rally. Maybe he's going to show a different angle of the shooting. I don't know. I haven't seen.
My guys, take a look at the chart. Take a look at the arrow on the bottom. See the big red arrow, right? So that's when I left office. That was the lowest point, and that comes right from the government services, comes right out of Border Patrol. Take a look at that. So that arrow is the lowest amount of illegal immigration ever in recorded history into our country. And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Oh, that dude literally pulls away to go, yeah, look at me, I'm so cool. And then shots get fired. That guy missed the greatest moment of all times.
Down. Stay down. Stay down. Stay down. Get down. Get down. Hey, get down. Get down. Get down, guys. Holy shit. No fucking way.
Look, let this be a lesson, all right? If you're at a rally of any sort of political, or you're filming anything, keep it focused on it. Don't be like turning back to be like, yeah, look at me, I'm so cool, because then you'll miss like a great shot.
Down. Someone shot. I'm good. Check. I'm good. Somebody got fucking hit. Somebody got shot. Get in. Get down. You're fine. Get the fuck down. Get down. Stay down. You hear it again, you go in the fucking opposite direction of the phone. You hear me? You hear it again, go in the opposite direction. Somebody got shot over here! Face down, get down.
That guy's not concerned at all for getting down. And who's this fucker just walking around casually? Who is this guy? Is this another Secret Service member? Why is he walking so casually? Look, okay, just because they're like, all right, shooters down. All right, cool. That doesn't mean shit. There could be always another shooter. That's what, Secret Service always are thinking. It's like there's always another shooter. Okay. So, look, it was a great photo op, don't get me wrong, but it was still a failure of the Secret Service. And this is, and they're being criticized, especially having women on that detail, because they just ended up looking ridiculous. But there should have been 5 giants, like dudes, and they should have literally picked Trump up and moved him to the goddamn car. And then there's this other Secret Service guy who's just casually walking around. He looks like a Secret Service guy. I don't know, but he's just walking around. Okay. Oh, shots have been fired. All right, but there's no rush for him to be covering anything. Like, this is just ridiculous. Such a failure.
Who shot? Somebody shot! Somebody's been shot! Medic! Medic! You need somebody to help cover them?
I don't know if that's Corey.
Where we gotta go? No, we got cops back there. Get up! Get up! Clear the way! Clear the way! Move! Get out! Get back! Get back!
I don't know about any of you, but I'm not gonna stick around a rally when shots are being fired. I'm taking my family getting the fuck out of there. These people are just standing there. I was like, dude, I would have been out that bitch. As soon as the gunfire is done, I'm gone. Like a little bitch.
Don't go this way. They get shot. Go that way.
Get down. No going that way.
There is no place to open on there.
And of course, there's a bunch of cunts here who are videotaping. Oh, someone's got shot. Let me videotape it. It's what we've been reduced down to. Someone's been shot. Let me record it. So there we go. That's an interesting view. Again, we hear the shot. You know, someone's been shot. So just a different view. That guy must be kicking himself. He missed the like he could have gotten so much money. Like if he kept his camera on Trump and like caught the bullet zipping by, dude could have gotten so much money. But just because he wanted to be like, yo, look at me, I'm so cool, missed it and lost so much money. It's kind of funny. All right. So yeah, this is so we're moving on. So that's all we got more on the shootings. We got the timeline, some updates on the shooter, things that were known. They finally broke their phone after forever. So here we go. So, you know, got a different angle. So there we go. Now we got MSNBC and apparently Senate majority leader and the Senate and the House minority leader have both talked to Biden and asked him to step down. Let's check this out.
While we have been talking, we have a little bit of new information. We have a response from the White House. The president, this is from a White House spokesperson. The president told both leaders, meaning Schumer and Jeffries, he is the nominee of the party. He plans to win and looks forward to working with both of them to pass his 100 days agenda to help working families. So this is obviously the top line response here is, no, I'm not going anywhere. But this also, I think implicitly, I may be a little over my skis here, but I think this implicitly confirms that Schumer and Jeffries did go to President Biden and say, we're going to lose with you at the top of the ticket, and therefore you need to decide if those are, if you want that to be your legacy.
Well, unless Schumer and Jeffries deny that that's what they said,
And
even
neither
though we
of them
don't have
has issued a
details,
denial.
and
No.
neither of them have issued something, which Nicole and I have written a lot of statements. We've been a part of a lot of non-denial denials. So if that's not true, they should come out and say it's not true.
While we have been talking, we have
As we can see, even leadership in the Democrat Party know that that Biden is a bad choice, and they're going to lose with Biden. Even the leadership knows. Even Democratic leadership knows. And there's so many polls coming out that are like saying, "Oh no, Biden's going to win. Biden's going to win." Don't believe those fucking polls. All right, Biden's not going to win, especially after this. Which is why people are trying to call this a hoax. With no evidence at all. It's just funny. But it's amazing how many Democrats are just turning their backs on Biden, as it appears that he's failing. Like I said, he's just gotten COVID again, and Van Jones has a really really good point on this, and it's kind of hilarious. And we'll bring that up. We'll check that out here real quick. But for now, here's something else. Apparently, now this is obviously I don't know. I don't know who Jack Posobiec is, but what he's saying is breaking massive drama right now in the White House. Kamala advisors straight up telling Biden advisors it's time to pass the buck. Exact words used per White House official. This is the first direct and open confrontation at the senior level. So I don't know. I haven't seen anything to corroborate that. All right, but if that's true, it's kind of funny. The thing is Kamala is less liked than than Biden, so it doesn't really matter if they put Kamala on there. Then she's gonna look so bad. Like she's not gonna do much better. So while the RNC is being held today, the DNC, where Biden will be officially nominated, that's true, is August 19th to 22nd. So they got a month. Okay, got a month. So who knows what will happen in a month? All right. So then, speaking of Biden and people against Biden, we're going to check out Laura Loomer. She is a giant Trump supporter. We're going to check out this video of her confronting Elizabeth Warren, see what happens.
Hi, good morning, Senator Warren. How are you? Yeah, do you think that Joe Biden has dementia? Do you think that Joe Biden should step down as the Democrat nominee? Yeah, I understand. Do you think that Joe Biden should step down as the Democrat nominee? Do you support Kamala Harris as the nominee, Senator? Hi, good morning, Senator Warren.
Just avoided it completely. And then, she's raised her fist, apparently. I don't know. It's funny as hell. Now, it looks like I found some more on Chuck Schumer and his one-on-one with Biden. Let's see what MSNBC is reporting on that front.
What is the latest you have on this ABC reporting about Schumer and Jeffries?
Hey, Alex and Chris, we've been reporting this out for the past couple of days, wanting to get kind of an inside look at this meeting between Chuck Schumer and Joe Biden that took place on Saturday. It was very much a surprise meeting between the two men. Neither side had forecasted that it was coming. Schumer traveled all the way to Rehoboth, Delaware to have this in-person meeting with the president. What I'm told about the meeting is that the two of them met one-on-one, that there was no other staff in the room, that it was just Schumer and just Biden having a direct conversation about the state of the race. And I'm told that Schumer presented the president with polling data that reflected the current state of the race, that he had a very blunt conversation, is how it was described to me, about the current state of the polling and the impact that it would have on the party going forward. Now, my sources would not characterize specifically what the polling data looked like that the majority leader presented to the president, but there is plenty of public polling data out there that reflects that President Biden is trailing President Trump in the race for the White House, and that President Trump, former President Trump, is leading in several key battleground states. Now, a lot of that polling is within the margin of error, and that is something that the White House often points to when they have these conversations. But there's no doubt that if you're
I know we're listening to this guy reporting to Chuck Schumer thing, but look at Biden here. Look at him struggling to get up a small set of stairs.
having a blunt conversation with someone about the state of the race, that you're not talking to them about how lovely and how positive the future is. Now, what I've tried to nail down for 4 days is this very direct question about whether or not the majority leader looked the president in the eye and told him that he should consider dropping out of the race. And every source that I've talked to, and this is sources that are on the record with the majority leader, these are sources close to the majority leader, and our White House team has also done this through the campaign in the White House as well. When you ask anyone that is connected to either of these two men and has any kind of insight into this meeting, they just refuse to answer that question. They will not tell us one way or another whether or not that direct ask was made. And what they point back to was that this was a one-on-one meeting. There were only two men in the room. And so they use that, and if you could describe it as plausible deniability to not entertain the question as to whether or not that direct ask was made. And if you read into the statement that the Schumer team put out on the record today, they say in this statement that Leader Schumer conveyed the views of his caucus directly to President Biden on Saturday. Well, I can help fill in the blanks as to what the views of the caucus are to President Biden, because we have seen countless Democratic senators say publicly and privately that they are very concerned about the state of the race, and they're very concerned about President Biden being at the top of the ticket. You've had Michael Bennett, who has said on the record in interviews that he believes that the Democrats will lose the race, that Donald Trump will win the race, that President Biden is still at the top of the ticket. Pete Welsh, the senator from Vermont, has specifically said that he wants President Biden to step down. Senator Patty Murray of Washington, who is the Senate pro tem, third in line to the presidency, the third ranking member of the Senate, put out a very tough statement saying that she is concerned about President Biden being the leader of the ticket. So there isn't a lot to read into the view of the caucus. The view of the caucus is that they are very worried about the state of this race. And so I think that is very telling in this statement that Schumer's office is providing to us tonight. So I'm going to be very honest with you and tell you that I do not know specifically if President Biden was told by Leader Schumer that he should step down. I do not have that specific reporting, but there is a lot that we can read into about this conversation. The fact that Leader Schumer thought it was important to travel down there, the fact that he was talking to him about polling data, of which everyone knows is bleak for Democrats right now, and that he is saying that he conveyed the views of his caucus. We know what the state of the caucus is right now. And so there's every indication here that this was a conversation where Leader Schumer was trying to at least help President Biden understand the reality of the race as it currently stands.
So there we go. Like, no one knows what was said, but it's apparently it's well known at this point that the Democrats are terrified and want Biden to step down. Apparently, Laura Loomer just reported this. I don't know how long ago. Okay, so Laura Loomer reported this morning. So yesterday, during a briefing with senators, the Secret Service confirmed to U.S. senators that they spotted shooter Thomas Matthew Crooks. Oh, shit, that's the wrong one. Hold on. Okay, so yesterday, during a briefing with senators, the Secret Service confirmed to U.S. senators that they spotted shooter Thomas Matthew Crooks at 5:51, confirmed that he was a threat at 5:53, and even after all that, they still allowed Trump to take the stage at his rally at 6 p.m. Shots were fired at 6:11 p.m. This was okay. So what she's saying is this was an inside joke, but that's crazy. So at 5:51, they confirmed they spotted him, and then 2 minutes later, they confirmed he was a threat, and they still let Trump take the stage. Like, what the hell is this? What is this? And they didn't immediately hey, maybe we should go and check out that one roof that's like within eyesight of the president. Let's check out that one. No, they didn't do any of that. Fucking ridiculous at this point. All right. I think that should be everything when it comes to the Trump stuff and the assassination stuff. Let's get on Biden a bit. So, like we said, we got a bunch of leadership here on the Democratic side, saying that Biden needs to quit, Biden needs to hand the reins over. Everyone's really abandoning Biden at this point, and it all started with that abysmal debate performance. And now, recently, Biden's got COVID. Now, prior to this, Biden said that if he was diagnosed with a serious medical condition, then he would drop out of the race. Now, all of a sudden, he's gotten COVID. It could be that they may use. All right, there's two things that could go on here. They could use COVID as, saying, "Oh, well, this exacerbated a hidden health issue, and has come to the surface, and now Biden is, has a serious medical issue. He's willing to stick the term out and finish up the term, but he will not be running for president. And then, of course, or it could be a setup, okay, and say, oh, the return of COVID, and all of a sudden a bunch of restrictions happen. This again, all of a sudden, that could be a possibility too. They're seeing they're going to lose a race, and they may decide, hey, let's bring back COVID, and things might be a problem. It's kind of an interesting time of events. That might be a little conspiracy, but who fucking knows? I don't think it's going to work again this time. We already know COVID isn't that big of a deal, and it's been proven time and time again. But let's see what MSNBC has said about Biden.
Here's the question that I have on that. These two men are both elderly. Donald Trump is an elderly man who, for whatever reason, was given 9 seconds to take a iconic photo op during an active shooter situation. Weird situation. We'll figure that out one day. But his survival of that and bouncing right back and going right to his convention is being conveyed in the media world as a sign of strength. This
not only that fist bump, you see it right there. You see that iconic fist pump after being shot while bled, being 70-something years old. That's another show of strength right there.
Current president of the United States is 81 years old and has COVID. Should he be fine in a couple of days? Doesn't that convey exactly the same thing? That he's strong enough, older than Trump, to have gotten something that used to really be.
No, you dumb bitch. Here's the difference. All right. Immediately after being shot, Biden or Trump stands up and lifts his fist up, says, "Fight USA, USA," all that crap. All right. Immediately. Biden had to cancel his Vegas rally because he got COVID. That's not a show of strength. That's a show of weakness. But let's listen on.
Fatal to people his age. So if he does fine out of it and comes back and is able.
But didn't he get vaccinated? And isn't the vaccine supposed to lessen the issues? Supposed to lessen the effects of COVID-19. So isn't that what the vaccine is? And he said like 10,000 vaccines. Like, what is this? What is this?
To do rallies, isn't that exactly the same? It's not exactly the same. It's not the same incident, but it's an elderly man coming through out of an illness.
It should.
Like, these people are insane. Like, no. Having to cancel a rally because you got COVID, you got the sniffles. It's not the same thing as being shot, having to go down, gets tackled, and then stands up bleeding and pumps your fist in the air and saying USA. That's not even close to the same thing. Okay. Like the Biden thing is looking at his weakness. He's so weak. Even though he's taking like 10,000 vaccines at this point, he gets it COVID again, and he has to cancel a show or a rally. Like that, it's ridiculous at this point. Whatever. And no one really points that out, as well as Van Jones here. Okay. A bullet couldn't stop Trump. A virus just stopped Biden. Democrats are coming apart. Republicans are coming together. So let's listen from the
A bullet couldn't stop Trump. A virus just stopped Biden. You've got the nominees of this party getting their butts kissed. Biden's getting his butt kicked by his own party. The Democrats are coming apart. The Republicans are coming together. A bullet couldn't stop Trump.
Like, there's nothing better to say than that. Is a bullet couldn't stop Trump. A virus stopped Biden. And, let's be honest. No one believes that we need to be fearful of COVID. All right. No one's afraid of COVID anymore, except the losers. So so the fact that Biden, was like, "Oh, I'm so sick, I can't do a rally." It's just a sign of weakness right there to anyone who's anyone at this point. All right. So we got a few things left. We're going to check out a few RNC speakers. And mainly, what's his name? Holman, the former ICE director. The guy who, I think it's the same guy who went against AOC, and where AOC was all condescending, saying, seeking asylum is legal. And it was like, trying to like, and he's like, if you want to seek asylum, do it the right way, go through the port of entry. I think it's the same guy. But like, remember that? She was like a little condescending, a little cunt. And she's like, what did she say? It's like, asylum seekers are not convicted or are not charged with any crime. And then he's like, well, yeah, if you enter the country illegally, that's a crime. He's like, seeking asylum is legal. And he's like, well, if you want to seek asylum, go through port of entry, do it the right way. So I think that's the ICE director that talked, and I think Trump has said that if elected, he'll put him back in as ICE director. And then Ron DeSantis spoke, so we'll check that out, and then we'll check out a new Trump ad, and that should be the end of it. But right now, apparently, Cheadle, whatever the fuck her name is, director of the U.S. Secret Service, decided that, hey, you know what? I should probably go to the rally too, and showed up to the rally. Let's see what happened.
This is exactly.
Oh, FYI, the people asking her questions are senators.
What you were doing today
This
on the call.
was an assassination attempt. You owe the people answers. You owe President Trump
Other people left across this plaza. This is exactly what you were doing today.
Oh, that wasn't very much, was it? But it's good she's getting confronted. How dare you come up to the RNC and haven't stepped up the evidence or stepped up the security of Trump? Okay, one, you haven't done that. Two, you haven't resigned, because at this point you usually resign. You're gonna get fired anyways. When Trump wins, you're getting your ass fired. All right, let's listen to the ICE director.
I got a message. As a guy who spent 34 years deporting illegal aliens, I got a message to the millions of illegal aliens that Joe Biden's releasing our country in violation of federal law. You better start packing now. You're damn right. Because you're going home.
You're going home, brother.
I got another message. Another message to the criminal cartels in Mexico. You smuggled enough fentanyl across this country to kill 148,000 young Americans. You have killed more Americans than every terrorist organization in the world combined. And that's when President Trump gets back in office. He's going to designate you a terrorist organization, and he's going to wipe you off the face of the earth. You're done. You're done.
Can't hate that, can you? Now again, because this has been fucking misconstrued, of course. Again, he's talking about illegal immigrants. So the mass deportation are of illegal immigrants, not legal immigrants. But it's going to get misconstrued, so who cares? All right, and then Ron DeSantis made Biden laugh.
America cannot afford 4 more years of a weekend at Bernie's presidency.
Even Donald Trump liked that. He's
America.
like, that's fucking funny. He's like, that's funny as fuck. So shout out to Ron DeSantis for that. All right. Last but simply not least, let's check out this new Trump ad. This is his first ad since he was shot. Let's check it out.
We can now project the winner of the presidential race. Donald Trump wins presidency. What started off as unlikely, impossible, is now reality.
I will fight for you with every breath in my body, and I will never, ever let you down.
We have a president who actually fulfilled the promises he made during the campaign, securing the border to foreign policy.
He now has a record as president that's pretty damn impressive.
Breaking news news out of Palm
The
Beach,
FBI
Florida.
has executed an unprecedented search warrant at President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. The former president has both sides of the political aisle up
Is
in
a
arms.
dangerous and unstable moment in American history.
The Justice Department has just indicted former President Donald Trump.
For 7 years, they hated him, they targeted him, they hunted him.
This is the epitome of the abuse of the prosecutorial power to preempt political decisions.
I never thought anything like this could happen in America. The only crime that I have committed is to fearlessly defend our nation from those who seek to destroy it. The more that a broken system tells you that you're wrong, the more certain you should be that you must keep pushing ahead. They want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedom. They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. They're not coming after me, they're coming after you, and I just happen to be standing in their way, and I will never be moving. On November 5th, 2024, justice will be done. We will take back our country, and we will make America great again. America will always rise to every challenge and overcome every danger.
Donald Trump, it seems to always get stronger when challenged. These types of things, I think, give him strength.
When I'm reelected, I will totally obliterate the deep state. As long as we have pride in our beliefs, courage in our convictions, and faith in our God, then we will not fail.
Whew. Chilling. Ooh. Doesn't that make you want to vote for the guy? That was a good Trump ad. That was a good one. Doesn't that make you want to vote for the guy? Come on. You know, you don't want to vote for him now? Come on. That was whew. Very chilling. Very good. The only thing is if only they had added the assassination attempt, but I know it came out. I'm pretty sure that ad came out after the assassination attempt. So if only they added that. But I'm sure that's going to be an ad too. I bet it's going to be an ad, and it's going to be, like a showing of a bunch of presidents being shot, killed, or a bunch of presidents being shot. JFK is going to be on there. I'm sure RFK will be on there too. That just invoking that sense of dread we hear whenever we hear a president or even a nominee being shot. I bet that's going to be the next ad. It's just like the coverage of various presidents who were shot. JFK was killed. RFK, who was a nominee, was killed as well. So that'll be interesting. All right, hope you guys enjoy the video. Make sure you like and subscribe. Like the video, subscribe. Follow me on Rumble. Okay, Rumble is the last bastion of free speech, so you should be checking me out there. I hope you have a good day. Come check me out tomorrow. I might do a reaction stream unless we have something interesting that happens political wise. I hope you have a good day. Peace out and see you later. Peace.